All right, guys, welcome back into another NFL DFS video. Got the week 14 first look build here for you guys. I do want to say this is the first time I'm doing this all year. Don't have any PGA content out, so I figured why not do it. I shouldn't have to state this, but I mean, I will. This will change throughout the week. This is just a first look build, kind of just a tool for you guys to use how I'm gauging my builds for this week. So let's get into it. We'll start off here with the quarterbacks. I'm just going to go through matchup by matchup and explain to you my thought process by position. So starting off last week, we had like really no solid payout plays. So Aaron Rodgers ended up being kind of the go-to, the core play there. This week we have Russell Wilson in a great spot. We have Justin Herbert in a great spot. We have Ryan Tannehill in a great spot, kind of in that high end. And then it does kind of fall off there. You know, Philip Rivers is going to be a fine play. So really, I'm concentrating on those players with a plus matchup, whether that's Wilson here, Rodgers here, or Herbert or Tannehill. Now, for me personally, first look build, I'm really just looking for a player with the consistency there. And for me this week, that is going to be Ryan Tannehill here. So Ryan Tannehill, I do like as a play. Just for the main reason, you know, he's been a very consistent fantasy producer, over 10 DK points in every single game this season. Heck, his lowest DK point total is, 10 and then 14.6. That's very consistent. And then we look at what he did week 2 against the Jacksonville Jaguars, put up 26 DK points. Been a consistent producer. He's really produced in those plus matchups as well. So this matchup presents about a +4 to your DK average. So I'd see him scoring right around 20 DK points. That's kind of going to be the floor that I'm giving him this week. So he's going to be the quarterback that I start out with. Now, the only problem with Ryan Tannehill as the quarterback, you guys will see here in a second, is that means we're going to be fading one of the running backs. And what I mean by that is I don't feel comfortable playing Derrick Henry now if I have Ryan Tannehill as a quarterback. Derrick Henry is in a great spot. He's projected to score 20.7 DK points this week. So I'm going to be avoiding that. We're looking at the running backs with the best matchups this week. It's going to be the Green Bay Packers, Chicago Bears, Detroit Lions, Tennessee Titans, then the Indianapolis Colts. So who are we going to be targeting out of those guys? I actually really do like Aaron Jones as a play. This is the week where he went off for 48 DK points in week 2, I believe it was, against the Detroit Lions. So, yeah, I like that a ton. He's going to be able to be used in the open field. He's going to be a solid play. James Robinson, I don't mind going against the Tennessee Titans. That's a fine play for me. Chris Carson, don't mind him as price point as a play. But really, David Montgomery, I'm going to go back to the well with him as well. I like him as a play. The opportunities that have just been there, the consistency has been there for him as well. And then there's kind of a sneaky play. Not exactly sure how I feel about it right now, but that's also going to be Myles Gaskin. Got him projected to score right around 14.3 DK points. So let's put those guys into our builds here. So yeah, as you guys can see here, Aaron Jones, best matchup on the slate. I think he's going to be a solid play this week. It is a little bit risky, but right now that's what we're looking at. Then we're going to go with David Montgomery. So David Montgomery has looked really fresh leg-wise the last 2 weeks. Been very explosive, and he's been able to make defenders miss. He's kind of putting it all together now. Going against the Houston Texans, another really solid matchup for him. He should be able to go off and have a solid week. We talked about his consistency prior to, getting injured. Was super consistent, putting up 10 DK points. Now he's finally showing that explosive upside. I like him as a play. And then Myles Gaskin, just a price point play. He's very cheap right now for a first look build. This makes a ton of sense. I mean, the opportunities have been there for him the whole year. I mentioned this a few times, but the Miami Dolphins RB1 has been a top 10 running back throughout the whole year. If we can lock in right around, 15 DK points at this price point, right around 20 touches, I'm going to take that any day of the week. He should get used in the passing game a decent amount if the Miami Dolphins are going to be down a little bit in this one. Now let's move on into the receivers. So the Jets are in a good spot receiver-wise, going against the Seattle Seahawks. We got to wait on some injury news. Perriman's currently questionable. So is Denzel Mims. Jameson Crowder, if those two are out, might be the go-to play. We got to wait and see on the news on that. Jeff Smith popped up a little bit. Well, a couple of those guys were injured as well. He might not be a bad punt play if Perriman and Mims are ruled out. We kind of got to wait and see on the news on that. There is going to be some value that opens up there in that game if one of those guys are out. Do really like Keenan Allen and Mike Williams going against the Atlanta Falcons, Jacksonville Jaguars. We got to wait and see on some news there because I actually don't mind Colin Johnson this week, and I'll kind of just mention it right now, actually. So 2 weeks ago when the Jaguars were a little bit banged up, He saw 80% of the receiver snaps, played well, looked good. And then last week he saw 55% of the receiver snaps, looked good as well, plus matchup. He's a guy that could be a sneaky value play this week, but I don't really see the need to go there. And then, some of the Tampa Bay guys, they could be in for a decent week as well, going against the Minnesota Vikings. Don't mind that. Someone like AB might not be a bad play for you guys this week going against the Minnesota Vikings. We know that Tom Brady has wanted to look his way since he's been back, so I don't mind him as a play. And then Tyler Boyd as well, going against the Dallas Cowboys. Price at 4.9. That seems very cheap for me for a guy that's really been able to take advantage of those easy matchups. So let's get into the receiver plays for this week, and I'll talk about kind of my lineup process for the receivers. All right, so I think we will be able to afford to pay up for Keenan Allen. He still saw a ton of targets the last 2 weeks, and he hasn't exactly produced, but the targets have been there. This was a plus matchup, a top 3 matchup on the slate, so 7.7 for him. Take the little price decrease because of the poor recent form, but I do really like the price point. Once again, I do want to say, Devontae Adams, just plug and play him. Now, he did struggle against Detroit. I believe was that the game that he got injured. I believe that was the game that he got injured and left. Other than that, he's been an absolute stud. So if you can afford to pay up for him, I think that you should do that. I'll pull up AB here just to kind of show him as a play. So really, other than their last week against the Kansas City Chiefs, that was his only bad week. Other than that, 5, 8, 13 targets. So, in a plus matchup, AB, I don't mind there at that price point, but I don't think we have to go that route. I do want to go back to the well with Sterling Shepard in a plus matchup against the Arizona Cardinals. He was a letdown last week, but he still saw 6 targets. I expect him to bounce back this week, so I like him as a play. And then there's a sneaky value play. Now, he's not a good matchup, but he's at a great price point, and the snap counts keep going up, and I don't think many people have noticed this. So Mohamed Sanu, he was a captain's pick for us on Thanksgiving, kind of helped us to have a good Thanksgiving Day week, or Thanksgiving Day slate. He saw 27 snaps in his first time back, or first time playing with the Detroit Lions, then 48%, and then 59% last week. So Green Bay Packers are a tough matchup on paper, but Mohamed Sanu at 3.0 for the guy that's probably going to see right around 60% of the snaps. Again, I really like that as a price point play. I do think he'll score right around, or see right around 4 targets. Should be able to score right around 8 DK points. So I do like that approach. And then Tyler Boyd, I don't mind as well. We'll have some value left over here. We'll move on into the tight ends here. So tight end wise, we'll pull it up. Nothing too great that I love tight end wise. Once again, just a couple of standout plays. We do really have to wait and see on the Jonnu Smith news, because if he's out, I'm going to be stacking Ryan Tannehill with Ferksker, and that's kind of going to be the route that I go with right now. But the only other tight end that I really love on the slate is Will Dissly. So Dissly is kind of the tight end number 1, and if you just combine the tight ends for the Seattle Seahawks, they have been good. Now, I know Greg Olson's out, but we also have Jacob Hollister in there a little bit. I'm not that worried about him. Will Dissly is the starting tight end, so I'm going to be rolling with him a little bit. For me right now, it's in between Dissly and it's in between Anthony Ferksker. So I'm going to be rolling with Ferksker right now because I have Ryan Tannehill as my quarterback. But, if you guys wanted to dip a little bit lower for value, you could do that. Obviously, if Jonnu Smith is out, you can just pivot to Dissly. It makes a ton of sense. You can save the money. Then we have a ton of money left over for defense. That doesn't matter to me. I'm just going to plug and play the Jets for now. We'll figure out the lowest value defense that we can go with. That is not going to score negative points. So for this specific build, I'll go from Mohamed Sanu to Tyler Boyd because I do like his matchup. He's going to be able to go off. And so that is the first look build for week 14. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a like, subscribe. I do appreciate that. And as always, guys, let's keep cashing. All right, thanks. We're out.